My name is Dorothy Sexsmith. I'm almost 87 years old. I was born on the Warsaw Road. We lived there, I suppose, 5 years. My dad and his father bought the farm, and my father farmed it. My mother told me that I didn't walk until I was 3 years old. I was too fat. I did have pictures of that, but I don't know what happened to them. I think the flood took an awful lot of my pictures. But anyway, I was fat because I saw a picture of myself. And anyway, we moved from there down to Otonabee to another farm. And Dad used to kill pigs. And we'd always have a big gate to climb up and look over. And when Dad would kill a pig, he'd say, here, he'd cut the tail off the pig, and he'd say, here, you run up the house now and get your mother to put that in the oven for you. And of course, we would go like fire up to the house and get Mom to put this pig's tail in the oven. Well, by the time it was in the oven and out, my dad would be up at the house. He said, well, how did the pig's tail taste? As if we could eat it. But see, to keep us away from the barn, when they used to go out in the hayfield, my mother would run the rake and the team of horses, and my dad would stoop the hay. And my mother would give us a great big jug or a big pail of water and get us to sitting under the shade tree while they were doing all this work. And one day, my brother, Ferg, decided that we go up and go in the shed, so which we did. And he come across a can of yellow paint like this. And my mother always kept me in dresses. And he had a great big wide brush, and he painted my dress. All yellow, painted me. I can still see it. It was ridiculous. But that's all I remember. I don't remember what my mother did or anything. But and I was stiff. From all the paint on my dress. I don't know how my mother ever managed way back those days. But I wish I could turn back the years when I was at home. Let's say I was born through I was 15. My mother was sick an awful lot of my childhood days, and I had to look after her because that was depression times. And well, you couldn't hire anybody because you couldn't afford to hire anyone. And so we depended on our neighbors. And in between times, I was the oldest girl, and they depended on me to do a lot. And I enjoyed doing it. Looking after my mother, looking after the baby, and looking after the stove, the wood stove, and all those kind of things. And feeding the little ones. I enjoyed that. I always adored and admired a little child. And that's where I got it. I always said I'd have a big family. Mind you, Paul didn't want that many children. But I did. And I had them. You know? I married Paul O'Brien, February the 9th, 1952. And we had 13 children. And we have 12 living. And I have 17 grandchildren. And I will have 16 great-grandchildren in another week's time. Paul was very abusive. And he drank an awful lot, and he smoked. And there was just no way that I could reason with him or bargain with him. And that's why I got that feeling that I'm just nobody, because it's in me so deep that I'll never get rid of it. I'm just a nobody, far as he was concerned. Never, ever dreaming that I'd ever meet another person. Never. Because I said, that's it. I got rid of him. And anyway, 5 years later, I met Joe through friends of mine, which were related to Joe. And we went on a trip to Branson, Missouri, and he treated me like a queen. I thought, what's wrong with you? I'm a total stranger. We got home, we had a great time, and we got home, and he phoned me up and asked me if I'd go for a coffee. And that started it. And he said to me so many times before I married him, he said, I only wish, Dorothy, that I had met you 50 years ago. So many times. And I said, oh, Joe. He said, I mean it. He didn't have a very good life himself. He said, and then after he married me and we got talking, he said, you know, Joan, which was his wife, should have married Paul because they were so much alike. Wonderful, wonderful person. And we were married 10 years when cancer took Joe. And he's been very lonely since he's been gone. I find it very difficult. But anyway, I'm getting older, and I realized I've had to accept things as they come, and I have a great family, wonderful, wonderful family, and that includes my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, because I really look forward to seeing them and being with them, which means the world to me. I wouldn't mind living on because I feel good and I'm well taken care of. And a lot of people don't believe me that I'm going to be 87. A lot of people. Like, you know, even my hairdresser will say, you know, I had a lady in here today and she was 86 years old and da-da-da-da-da. I thought, oh, wonder how old do you think I am?